Yay! Hello, hello, and welcome to this week Magnet Marketers Training Tuesday live. Excited to be here another week where it's actually sun is shining outside here in Ohio, where just a few days ago we had 3 inches of snow. So thankful for the sunshine. But today we're here and we're going to be talking all about TikTok, formerly known as Musical.ly, but TikTok now is a growing app, and we want to talk about TikTok for business. If you're using it for your business, if you're considering using it for your business, or should you not? Is it just another shiny object? Let's break it down today. But before we get into the nitty gritty, if you've not met before, hello, hello. My name is Jessica Phillips with Now Marketing Group and the Relationship Marketing System. I'm an awesome co-host. He's Mike Gingrich. He's the president of Digital Hill, the co-founder of the popular apps Wafio, Tabsite, and published author extraordinaire. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, doing well. And yeah, we had some rain flow through here earlier today, but as you can see, there's some sunshine now. So that's a good thing. Enjoying the sun.
Yay. And we already had somebody comment that they're really excited to hear about TikTok. So yes, definitely let us know first who you are, where you're tuning in from, and if you've used TikTok before, or maybe if you're like me and have children that are under the age of 16, and even some that are older than that. They are definitely on it. My kids, that was the one social app that they've been allowed to use for a while now. So they've been on it for at least 5 years, or right when Musical.ly came out. You know, it was Musical.ly before that. So they've been using it for quite a while. So let us know what you think of the app right now as we dive into it. So
yeah, I'm curious to know, like, if they're active users, and by that, I'm looking at my phone too, just to see if anybody's commenting. So are they using TikTok? I mean, I guess be specific about that. Watching and posting.
Yeah, watching and posting. There's definitely a difference. We're going to dive into that. But Mike, I know TikTok's been around for a while. Like I said, it was Musical.ly first, and then, it's been adopted, taken over. There's been many evolutions, changes, and updates to this app. I like to say it kind of brings in the best of many of the social different platforms that we love, because it's visual. You can do video, you can do photo transitions, 60 seconds long. You can put hashtags, of course, in there. And it's a really great platform to present something creatively, which if you've used it before, you know exactly what we're talking about. And we're going to go into some of the nitty gritty of kind of like how it works. But one thing I didn't know, because like I said, my kids have been using it for a while, but how popular it's now becoming 2019 and even more with the growth trajectory in 2020 and beyond, how popular it really is. Right now, it is the highest social media app for engagement. That's one. Okay. It's getting a lot of engagement per post, right? So if you're looking at per post, per engagement, and how much time is being spent on there, but it's the highest engagement per post right now, as well as it's the 4th most popular social media app download. So if you think about it, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, I mean, those are 5 right there that we mentioned that are really popular. TikTok is number 4. It's the 4th most popular. So that says a lot.
Absolutely.
And it's the second largest or second most downloaded free app right now for 2020. So these are all 2020.
And it's really just, it's been on a growth trajectory in terms of use.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge. And the age range has changed, because it used to be kind of like skewed, kids around, under 16. But since it's been around for a while, the people that were on it before when they were 16 now are still there. So this is also coming from TikTok's kind of stats for 2020. It says TikTok's user base still very closely matches all of that of Musical.ly, what it was before, but its US users are younger, with 25% being aged 18 to 24. That's 25% of their users are 18 to 24. A further 24.5% are now 25 to 34. So it's still, that's half your population that's on the app. 50% of the population that's on the app is at least over the age of 18. And what they're seeing is that people are staying on past their 18th birthday. So even though the largest majority, when you break it down, SKUs are that 18 to under 25-year-olds, but they're still staying on past their birthday when they hit 25. So it's not like, okay, you're getting booted out now, you're too old for the app. But they're seeing quite a bit of, the millennial generation as well as Gen Xers that are now starting to join it more. And I'm seeing that even on my profile, or maybe it's just because that's who they're sending my way to view there on the profile.
Yeah, no, and again, let's if you back up a little bit, I mean, that's often a trend with some good social startup apps. When you think of what Instagram's early demographics were, probably followed somewhat of a similar trend that way. And then you think of others, maybe in that realm, Snapchat, those types of pieces there. They did. Now, so even Facebook, I should say, go all the way back and say Facebook's demographic started. I mean, Zuckerberg started out of college, first college students, and then finally opened up, and so that's something common we see in social media platforms. Now, what you watch then is kind of that older demographics. So now we're at the quote older 25 to 34, but then we what's the demographic beyond that? You mentioned Gen Xers, so that's getting up into my segment there, including me in that piece there, and so time spent there is continuing to grow. That user base continues to grow, which is important to see. That's where it becomes when so number one, if your demographic is that younger audience, obviously it's there. That's where you need to be, kind of thing. But number two, then, as that demographic continues to broaden and extend, so that might include, your business's demographic. So that's why it's important to pay attention to, and also just because of that they've got something with this incredibly high engagement rate. The way it's set up and the way it functions, that's important for people to know about and also to be aware of, and that's also going to influence other social platforms.
Absolutely. And Karen, I do see your question here, and I will try to answer this as well. But that's right, Mike. So like all the social apps that start out, you definitely see those early adopters. And a lot of times it is the younger generation. And then the true test of the app is once the quote unquote older generation gets there, do its kind of starting users stay there or not? Or they're like, okay, now we got to find our other thing, our new thing. And we're not seeing that yet. We're seeing them stick on in the engagement. I've been following this app for a while, and just trying to see. At first, I was like, this is not a good use case for business. I didn't see the business opportunity there as it was first launched. Did I see it as a fun, personal social media app for yourself and to maybe highlight yourself as a personal brand, showing your personality and things like that? Absolutely. But where I'm seeing it now grow is there's definitely some business use cases for it, which we'll get into. But Karen, to answer your question, she says, I've read some strong warnings about data mining with this app. Is there any truth to this? So can I say 100% accuracy, yes or no? No, but do I know that all of us are the product on these social apps? Yes. So when we sign up for a social media app, we are kind of that product. I mean, even the websites, Google, everything that we use online, really it's meant to get data on us so advertisers can find us and market to us. So all the information that we're providing on that app and what we're engaging with and what we're posting, the words that we're interested in and the hashtags that we're using, all of the things online is collecting data. Like everything is collecting data so that advertisers that are funding these projects, whether it's getting ads, which TikTok now has ads rolling out in it, or if they're sponsoring whatever, investing in this, it's to a certain demographic that they want a specific demographic to market to, and these apps and all the social apps then find that specific demographic because now they know what you like, you listen to, you post, what time you're on, when you're most active, where you're hanging out. I mean, that's with any social app. Do I know more and above and beyond that as far as how their security is? Not with accuracy would I be able to say, but I say that I feel just as safe on TikTok as I have on other social platforms right now. That's the only reason I let my kids on it. But I think even if we back up a little bit, if somebody's not familiar with it, just kind of talk about like the layout of TikTok and how it works, because it is pretty simplistic if you want compared to some of the other social apps. So Mike, do you want to talk first on kind of the layout of it?
Yeah, I mean, basically, designed to be a, vertical orientation, full screen, and couple, keys in the right column and then below, kind of thing. But basically, I mean, it's just geared. It's geared to the swiper, that type of thing. Yep. So the one click like, the one click follow, and the one click swipe, to make it happen there. Obviously, then there's a discover tool. Down at the bottom, you can find some people. There is an inbox, those types of things. But I think
because it removes distraction. It keeps you
absolutely
focused on the one thing at hand. And like you said, it's very simplistic. There's only 2 streams for you to choose from. So,
yeah. At the top of that. Yep. No, yep. Yeah. So, but again, I think it's just, it's geared. I mean, volume on by default, it's geared to kind of pull you in. It's gonna, you got to focus, and then something's happening here, and then, it can be done, and then it's gonna on to the next one, and I just swipe. There we go. So we're moving on. Swipe up, swipe down. I can go back. Boom.
And that's what many people are doing, because like you said, and here's the ad actually. See that this ad came up. So that was the first ad. But as Mike said, like it draws you in first and you just swipe through to get it. So there's 2 different pages there. There's the following, which anybody that you choose to follow, of course, as you're watching their video, whatever, you can choose to follow it or just to engage with it. And those are really the 2 buttons that are right there. And let's say that you're just joining this app though. If you imagine when you just joined Facebook, Facebook's trying to recommend all these people that you could connect with. But on TikTok, they have the other stream that is called the For You section. And what that is presenting up to you content that they think that you are going to be interested in. And I have never seen a more brilliant, in my opinion, algorithm, the more that I'm engaging with the videos on here, to where it is presenting exactly the types of content that I would be interested in based upon what I'm engaging with, what I've shared, as well as location. So if you talk about getting like hyper local, TikTok really does present content to you that they think you'd be interested in based upon where you are. So I see more content from people that I've seen on my For You page that it's not like it's just the most viral content. Granted, it does become viral, more viral content because they're presented up to a lot more people, but people that they can see that I'd either connected by, terms of connecting with a third person that we both mutually know, or based upon demographics. So it's a great way to kind of, they have it built in to really serve the person just getting started to really make connections faster. And they have all the other fun stuff built in, like when you go to make a post for yourself, you can do it live there natively, upload something. There's several different apps built in, or filters, if you will, and different ideas that you can get started with, whether that's ideas for engaging with, a fun battle, or going, maybe Mike's posted something and I like his video, and then I could take the video that he's posted and then do a duet beside him. There's tons of things that you can do within the app that is built in, where it gives you a great place to kind of get started, where you don't feel like kind of a fish out of water, I would say, of where do I even begin?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, some people want to talk about ads. So like right now I'm in the For You side of things there. And I flipped through a couple of them, and I just did get an ad. This is for 90-second auctions, right? Yeah. And so again, tech gear, earbuds, all that kind of stuff in auctions that start at 90 seconds. Boom, it's done. Yeah. And you can see it down at the bottom here. There's like a link you can click there. So shop now. So they they have some sophisticated ad options within this. And again, so I was targeted for that type of ad. Hey, Bluetooth earbuds. I've been thinking about those. That type of thing. So but that's how an ad can look there. So it's quick, it's snappy, but there's also a shop now. I can click on it and go over to that.
In their studies for 2020 so far on the app, 500%, I want to make sure I quote this right, 500% increase in in-app spending on this app. So
500%.
Yeah. a little bit of a kick up there. So, but here's what I've seen that's really working as far as brands, and I'm going to post these stats in here as a comment. So if anybody does want to look at the stats later on TikTok that we found, but what I've seen that's worked and what I've seen that's not worked on TikTok. So it is its own like style flavor of app. It is one that is it's the most human app that I've seen. And what I mean by human, it's like people are showing their funny side or their full side. So when it comes to doing it for business, granted, we've launched this for Now Marketing Group and we've done some fun ones, right? Where it's like participating in the challenges and showing, the personality of our team and really showing the culture side. And what we were trying to figure out is like, okay, what is the business use case though? Could we see us growing this to be a place where we add value? And I can confidently say now, after doing, this has been 10 months, 11 months of me lurking, stalking, following, other brands and seeing what's out there, I can absolutely say yes, because I've even followed and been introduced and purchased things from people that I've seen doing their videos, adding value on TikTok. Now, it's not the same exact thing that you would do on YouTube or even maybe potentially Instagram, but not the same type of video. It's like 60 seconds quick and I'll give you a couple ones that I've watched. Like one was, what's her name? Erica, but I forget her last name. But anyway, she was talking about, okay, here's how you create a vision board. And she was walking through the process and it was like hooked in and she's like really in communicating with me on the other end of the screen. I felt like she was talking to me, not at me, like some other videos do, but she was completely being value added, helpful. I've seen counselors on there talking about here's the 3 signs to look for, if your kid has depression or whatever. Here's like the quick little helpful nuggets, pieces of advice that people are putting out there. And it feels so natural though. That's the difference. I feel like it feels like you're talking to that brand versus watching an advertisement. Do you know what I mean?
Very personal. Yeah. What do we got from Brian Fanzo here? TikTok just for creative inspiration is simply amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Brian does a good job on
just to be able to watch and see what others are doing. And I think it's really been uplifting, humor, and it's been fun and creative inspiration. I think definitely, absolutely.
Absolutely. So you can post things on your page and not make it public. And so like, that's what I've done for like the past 10 months. I've just been practicing on creating content and just to see what it'd be like to create something daily and like kept it to myself right now, but you can upload it and, make it public later, but it's a great way. So if you're not sure, like getting inspired or getting used to maybe doing some of the challenges or trying some of the filter things that they have or trying some of the built-in effects that they have and getting yourself used to it, know that you can post it and make it just private to you right now to kind of start getting your feet wet and just checking out the app. And then another really cool thing about it that I love is that this app is made for sharing. They make it so easy for you to share the videos to a friend via text. They don't have to log in and create an account. They can just view it via sending it to Instagram. You can share it on all these social networks, as well as you can even create like a little save section, which I have things saved that I want to go back and follow up on. And it makes it so simple within that app to do that. So practice this a little bit, and then maybe send it to a friend. If you're trying a video out and you put it as private for yourself or whatever, you can download it. You can download that video, or you can, send it to someone to start testing it out too.
Yeah. And again, that's the power of their simplicity. The way that they've made it frictionless to share, to send, to save, all those types of pieces. And now for you, like as well, because I'm seeing more, like when I'm on Instagram, I'm getting more invites. Hey, come check us out, check me out on TikTok. So you're starting to see that grow, some crossover marketing that way.
Yeah. And Brian says, yes, draft folder is where the gold it's where the gold is, and nobody will ever see the live. So, which is so true. And like a couple other ideas that I've seen Brian doing on his TikToks is showing his process, right? Like behind the scenes as he was setting up and changing out the way that he was doing his podcast and doing kind of behind the scenes, showing that. It was showing kind of him, with his daughters, showing his hobbies of like the Jeep and things that he likes. So you're really building that personality too, especially if you're a personal brand or someone like Brian, that you can show all those aspects of yourself, and it's really going to help build that relationship further, because now I know about your hobbies, kind of your style, a lot more about you that I may not have found out in another way. And it's also the app where I see police officers using it, nurses. I mean, you see everyone in their authentic state is what I feel like on this app. I feel like it's their true state, where everybody is just like kind of come as you are. And it's really accepted and it's celebrated there, I would say.
I like that. That's a good thought though, come as you are. And then we've talked about this before with social media and how it's created that environment of being known and personalization, and this is just kind of taken that another step further.
Yeah, Brian said, yes, I use it to give access and have some fun, also trying to challenge himself to dance, which is so outside your character. Okay, so fun story though, Brian Fanzo was dancing on stage at the end of Social Media Marketing World with I and a few other people, and he was like, oh my gosh, I was so nervous, but he danced with Ann Handley and they killed it. It was great. And I love seeing those since then, Brian. I do see you're challenging yourself, because you said that you were so nervous there and felt out of character, and now I've seen you dancing more often on live videos than I ever have before. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, so have you watched any brands on TikTok, or any of you that are watching here seen some brands that are truly crushing it on TikTok that you like?
See if anybody posts things. I mean, I'll start off by just saying, as a sports guy, I mean, I just think Red Bull, again, I mean, they did it on Instagram. They're doing it here. ESPN, is doing well. They've just switched and engaged with that audience, with that demographic. I mean, obviously they have so much video footage, but they have to break that down and make it, work on TikTok, and they're doing that. So I think when I say, work on TikTok, I mean, it's creative stuff, and we're seeing behind the scenes stuff, and that's things that kind of that pull you in and give you a backstory. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and that's what you're seeing a lot of, because when you talk about too the engagement part, so one thing we didn't mention is that people not only can like your video or save it, but they can comment too, and you do have the ability to comment right back. And it looks like it's the same. Like I haven't seen any differences for brand accounts than you would as a personal account. So it's like they have access to you, to comment, and now you can respond back. Now you do have, of course, your own privacy settings, which I have turned on, like for my kids, like I said, that I let on it. So not everybody can direct message them unless they're connected. But for brands, this is big too, because when maybe on Twitter, I guess, and sometimes in Facebook or Instagram, but like for brands, you don't necessarily see like an NFL or Red Bull having just one video there, and then the comments in the community where, you feel maybe more connected to them. I don't know. It just seems like a more intimate, I guess, setting. And I think it is because of the reduced distractions. Like I said at the beginning, when you see the app and you look at it, you're seeing one thing at a time. It takes up your full screen. And that's what I think people are captivated by, where they feel like that connection, because there's nothing else on your, on the other side of the screen that you're looking at when you're going through that. You literally have to commit to that minute or however long that they're going for, or move on. And you're only seeing that one thing right there in front of you.
No, totally agree. Yeah. I was trying to, I get kind of watching TikTok, watch comments, go back and forth. There we go.
Watches NHL teams, and his favorite is Manscaped. Ooh, I haven't seen those, but yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, and like I said, the thing that we started with now, and when we started using TikTok for Now Marketing Group, is start getting people comfortable with it first. So if you are thinking about, like if we've talked to you about TikTok and you're considering using this or testing it out for your brand, at least start out by just playing around with it. So the first thing we did was start playing around with it, where I still am personally. Like I said, I've been posting videos at least 3 times a week, keeping it on private for myself, where I'm getting kind of used to it, following a ton of stuff and saving it so I can get a feel for like the content that's really working, that is aligned like in my space, right? As well as looking and seeing how I could get my team comfortable with it. So we created a Now Marketing Group TikTok channel several months ago, and we started coming up with a challenge of the week, and I would have everybody participate in that challenge into getting them comfortable with it. Now we're like, okay, we got the fun thing down. We love that. Now everybody's comfortable with it. The next thing is we created some topics now from looking and seeing what's accepted, and I would say what people are responding to on TikTok, and looking to see, okay, what videos could we create then from there, whether that's all of us participating or just one person. So it's like, okay, here's how you can use this one trick on TikTok to get your content seen, or whatever it is. Or, here's the one thing that makes a big difference using this word over this word in your email opens, right? Like things that could be helpful, that's not going to feel salesy or promotional. So we wrote out a list of topics, and Olivia Smith on our team, she's amazing. And she's kind of like spearheading the whole TikTok thing, and she's doing a phenomenal job. But we're taking that and we're creating a plan. So where I was going with all that is really to create a plan, right? So it's not just, okay, now we have another thing that we're going to manage and we're going to have to figure something out day by day. Start with it, play around with it, test the waters, but then come up with your plan of the kinds of content that you want to create ahead of time. And that could make it not feel like it's just another app that you're managing. You got to know what you want to get out of it. And ours is really another place for helpful content, but also to really attract kind of that next generation of community that we want to build along with the community that we're working with already at Now. Olivia says, TikTok is hands down my favorite social platform, and girl, you rock it too. I love it.
No, I think just because of what we're seeing and the way it's grown and evolved, it's businesses just need to be paying attention to it, because it's going to be part of the future. I mean, it's part of the present, and it's going to be here. Just the way that it has been such a hit with that demographic already that you've talked about through age 34 plus into Gen X.
Yeah. Do you see just restaurants, I could see them showing, how to make something really quick. You've seen recipes in there. I mean, a lot of things that we're seeing on Instagram, right? And stories in general, but showing up there. I mean, there's so many different ways to use it creatively. And like I said, if you're not sure on ideas, TikTok has several built in that you can try, but then go look and discover, other brands that are out there. Just play around with it. That For You section really will show you things that content, and the more content that you like, they're going to serve up similar content to that for you, so you can discover even more. I'm not sure if there's been a person that's really kind of dubbed as that TikTok expert. I mean, I'd say Brian's definitely close. I know there's several other. Judy Fox does a great job on TikTok too. That I'll link here in the notes too, of other people that are marketers that are really kind of tuned in to what's happening on TikTok. But again, honestly, it's really about just playing around with the app and seeing what you can do with it. Because again, when we talked about dark social so much here, in the past year and where social is going, it's going to more private niche communities where if you look at it in terms of TikTok, you need to build a brand that's craveable, things that you can create that's that short micro content, which that's what this is, and driving people to you in a way that's going to leave them kind of having this experience, which is the verb of experience, which is an emotion, how you're making them feel in a way that's going to make them want to come back and get more from you, follow you, kind of check out what you're doing, because this is going to help you kind of stay in their smaller micro community versus people going out and looking for brands. They're just not going to do that.
And if you just need some good laughs, there's plenty to be found on that. Or, if you need some inspiration for doing crazy things, the guys at Dude Perfect, I love those guys. They're always pulling off these trick basketball shots and just all kinds of trick things. And so there's life and fun on TikTok for sure.
Oh my gosh, it is the best way to brighten up your day. Seriously. Did you see the Datasaur one? Have you seen the guy, the Datasaur?
No, you have to zip
oh my
that
gosh, yeah, I'll send it to you. But basically the kids, anytime they say dinosaur, he's their dad, whatever he's doing, like they were doing breakfast in bed and it was like this carrot juice in a cup and like oatmeal and like just think of like the messiest, sloppiest stuff that you would not want on white sheets in your bed. And they're like, when they say dinosaur, he turns into this dinosaur and literally just like starts spilling everything and smashing it. It's just like a hot mess all over. So the poor wife in the room's just like, oh my God, but they not only do the video, right? That's fun, but then they come back and do like the behind the scenes of like the cleanup, right? When it's over. Yeah. Granted, those are just people having fun, but a lot of these people that are on here are creators, like the Holdsgrove family, I think is their name, that creates all the funny songs and stuff. They're on there. You really see the talent and creativity that's out there. And as Brian mentioned too, it inspires you to be greater, right? Like up level your own creativity, get inspired by what others are doing and get away from feeling like we gotta, be all polished and perfect, because people don't want that anymore. Like our tolerance level is niche for any BS, anymore. We want fun, real, authentic connection. And this app definitely makes you feel it fast. So I'm pumped up for TikTok for business now. I don't know if I could have said that 3 years ago or even maybe 2 years ago, but I can really see the use case now for business.
And it's just going to continue to grow and continue to have more business use cases. And I think that it's really gotten a boost from all the kind of social distancing and quarantines, just people spending more time on it and experimenting with it more.
Yeah, Jacqueline says, I can lose some time on this app. Yes, we do. And Olivia says Rachel Peterson has some great TikTok tips. We'll definitely link her in as well. So yeah, there you have it. I think we have 2 votes for TikTok for business. Several others that have been commenting say the same. Try it out, test it out. Let us know what you think, like how's it working for you, and some of the fun things that you've been able to discover on the app. I really think, this is just where social is going. Micro short content, very visual, very niche, and jump on, get with it, try it out, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I think it'll really help build the relationships faster with your brand. So, all right, Mike, any finishing thoughts?
I don't think so. I think that the experiment, test it out, and there's nothing to lose, like you said, with that draft private mode there, as Brian mentioned as well. Thanks for the fans though for popping in and giving us some tips there. So I think that that's the best piece of TikTok. Pay attention to it. Yeah, absolutely.
So try it out. Let us know how it goes. If you want to see any examples from Now Marketing Group, of course, it's just Now Marketing Group on TikTok. Cannot wait to see what you guys start creating. But until then, thanks so much for joining in with us. this week on Magnet Marketers. We'll be back here next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. See ya. Bye-bye.